$34,000. Gone. In one day. Not a car, not a down payment. A wedding. And the part that still bothers me is this. We genuinely believed we were being reasonable. We compared vendors. We skipped the ice sculpture. We negotiated where we could. We told ourselves it was a once-in-a-lifetime event. That's exactly what the industry wants you to believe. Because here's the truth most people don't say out loud. The average American wedding now costs more than many households have in liquid savings, and nearly half of couples go into debt to pay for it. Debt that follows them into the first years of marriage, the exact years when financial stress does the most damage. If you clicked this, you're either planning a wedding, paying one off, or watching someone you care about walk into it. And this matters even more if you're over 40. At that stage, every financial decision carries more weight. A $12,000 mistake at 25 is a lesson. At 45, it's retirement time you don't get back. I've spent the past 8 years watching how real people handle real money, not in theory, but in actual bank accounts and real conversations. Wedding debt is one of the most common financial regrets I hear. Not because people regret getting married, because nobody showed them the long-term math before they signed the contracts. In my previous video, Michael Johnson wrote from Los Angeles. Appreciate you, Michael. If you're watching right now, comment your city so I can thank you in the next video too. Let me show you how $34,000 disappears without a single reckless decision. The venue was $9,500. That sounded manageable until we realized it didn't include linens, lighting, or a separate cocktail space. Add those and we were at $11,700 before the first guest arrived. Catering was $11,000 for 120 people, roughly $90 per plate. But that didn't include the bar, cake, taxes, or gratuity. The real number was closer to $130 per person. Photography and video came to $4,800. Flowers were $3,100. Attire and alterations, $2,400. Then the DJ, invitations, transportation, favors, another $4,000 spread across a dozen small decisions. None of them felt reckless. That's the trap. No single choice breaks you. It's the accumulation. Every upgrade feels minor. Every add-on seems justified, and then the final invoice shows up and you're staring at a number that feels disconnected from reality. We financed $12,000 of that total, 2 credit cards at about 21% interest and a personal loan at 11%. Over the next year and a half, we paid roughly $1,400 in interest. That $1,400 bought nothing. No extra photos, no better food, just the cost of spending money we didn't have yet. Now, slow down with me for a minute. If that $12,000 had been invested at a modest 8% annual return, over 30 years it grows to roughly $120,000. Even if you only had 20 years before retirement, it becomes about $56,000. That's the part nobody talks about when you're picking table settings. Every borrowed dollar has a future version of itself, larger, heavier, and much harder to replace. If this is making sense so far, stay with me. The most important part is coming up. The wedding industry isn't really selling you a party. It's selling you a feeling, and it's structured to make every downgrade feel like you're compromising the meaning of the day. The difference between a $12 chair cover and an $18 chair cover is $6. Multiply that by 120 guests, and it's $720. That's one decision. There are dozens like it, each framed as small. Together, they equal a used car. And now vendors offer payment plans, deferred interest, and easy monthly options. Those aren't there for your convenience. They're there because spreading out payments makes large totals feel harmless. When you focus on $220 a month instead of $12,000 up front, your brain relaxes. The math doesn't. The uncomfortable part isn't just the interest. It's what that money could have done instead. It's the emergency fund you didn't fully build. The FO1K contribution you skipped that year, the home repair that later went on a credit card because savings were thin. Financial decisions don't exist in isolation, they ripple. Wedding debt rarely stays in a neat little box labeled wedding. It bleeds into everything that comes after it. So what would I actually do differently?
First, set a hard ceiling before speaking to any vendor, not a flexible estimate, a firm cap. And then reduce it by 10 to 15% immediately because costs almost always expand. Second, create a non-negotiables list before you fall in love with ideas. Decide in advance what truly matters. For us, photography was meaningful. A custom cocktail menu wasn't, but by the time we evaluated it, we were emotionally attached. Timing changes decisions. Third, if you're financing any portion, calculate the full interest cost on day one. Use a simple loan calculator. Look at the total repayment number, not the minimum monthly. That number should influence your choice before you sign, not after. Fourth, ask one honest question before every major expense. Does this change the experience of the day or just how it looks in pictures? Those are not the same thing. Fifth, look at your actual financial foundation. Credit card balances, retirement savings, emergency fund. If those areas are fragile, an expensive celebration won't fix that. It will amplify it. When we got our photos back 6 weeks later, they were beautiful. We looked happy. We were happy, but we were also $12,000 in debt, sharing a small apartment and feeling a level of financial pressure we didn't fully admit yet. The photos never show that part. They never show the spreadsheet. I'm not saying don't have a wedding. I'm saying the version that costs $16,000 instead of $34,000 with 60 people instead of 120 still has the vows, the dinner, the music, and the people that matter most. What it doesn't have is the same financial shadow. Before we finish, comment below and tell me which city you're watching from. For example, Chris Rolfe is watching from Los Angeles. Thank you. If this gave you a clearer way to think about one big money decision, hit like, subscribe, and in the next video, we're breaking down the hidden costs of home ownership, the expenses nobody mentions before you sign the papers. This is Michael Stone. Your money works better when you understand it.